Right. I did mention before that in order to be able to dance with someone, you need to be able to dance the dance on your own. And there are a few measurements that, or a few sort of qualities, if you want, by which the dancing tango is actually defined. And what are those? There's a four. First of all is the posture, which is your body shape, how your body should be, in what shape. So, obviously, this is not a tango posture. Neither is this, or that, or that. That's not a tango posture. So, tango posture has a certain quality about it. So, that's the posture, the first one. The second one is your balance. Because you're going to do a lot of things standing on one leg. And even the movement, you see that I'm not balanced yet. And by the way, I have to say something about balance. And I saw this demonstration from Sebastian Salas in a class that I took a few years ago in Italy. He was the first one to mention this. Before that, I used to hear teachers dance on the ball of your feet. I never felt stable. I never felt stable, but I thought, well, I'm not good enough. Not yet. I just have to work harder on it, and then I'll dance on the ball of my feet, and I will be feeling better, and I'll be more stable. But then Sebastian Salas said, no, 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 use your heel. You stand on the floor, perfectly vertical, with the heel down on your heel and on the ball of your foot. The whole sole of your foot has to be used. Don't just dance on the sole of your feet. That is not good, because let us show you an experiment. Yeah. So if I use the whole of my foot, look at this. I can stay here for a long time. Yeah. I'm reasonably stable. Now, if I'm going on the ball of my foot, now look at me. You can see it even in the video that I'm actually wobbly. I can't on the ball of my foot. Yeah. So it's very, very difficult. You always feel wobbly. You will not have balance unless you are ballet dance trained. As I've seen a ballerina doing it, and a ballerina can do it, but they have 10 years of doing that, or maybe a bit more. But it's a different thing for me to dance tango and to be on one foot. I cannot keep as still as I could keep if I put my heel down. You see, all of a sudden, I'm changed. If I put my heel down, I'm fine. I can hold a better shape of my body, I can maintain my posture, I'm stable, I'm fine. So that's the balance aspect of it. And it needs to get better and better and better. Even if you use the heel, sometimes you won't have balance. You need to learn it, the body needs to learn it. And that's practice. The other aspect of so the first one is your posture, the second one is the balance, the third one is the isolation principle. What does that mean? Because there are a lot of sudden movements in tango, or you move, you do a lot of decorating and a lot of turns and, not turns, moving the leg, moving it up, moving it down, whatever you need to do with it, doing a bolero. Now, you see, when I do that, the body doesn't move. So that means that I isolated this part of the body from the rest of my body. So my leg moves independently from my body, you see? And the body almost doesn't even know about it, that it exists. So if I was to, you see, I keep my posture, but my leg is moving. Yeah? That is part of dancing tango, and you also find that sort of thing in ballet, isolation. So you probably have seen this before. If you go like that, and there you go. That's isolation. And that's isolation as well. And now that's isolation. So you're learning the body, how to use your body in order to do, for example, a bolero, and without your body moving. But the leg is moving, and it's moving, creating all sorts of energy, but the body will learn how to counteract all of that, yeah? So through practice you learn how to isolate parts of the body, yeah? And if you put all of these together, your posture, your balance, and your isolation, and knowing what to do with it, you already acquire style. So the four qualities are somehow dependent on each other, but they can be defined independently. So you have your balance with specific exercises for balance, that would be one, and you stay here like that and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But our exercises are about keeping your knees together and straight, and you go 1, 2, 3, count, count, count. Can you practice this in the tube? Yes, you can, because watch it not in the tube, because the tube wobbles like that. It's kind of difficult. But when you're waiting for the tube or when you're washing dishes, you can do it. Because you put yourself, like I put myself on the right here, you don't need to lift your leg or anything. You just stay on one leg, and the other one you can do whatever you want. You practice your balance, you practice your isolation, because the body stays stable and your hands are going and going when you read a book. So anytime you can practice your, when you're waiting for something, when you're in a queue, you can take advantage of this and practice your balance all the time, and your posture at the same time, because you have to have the right posture, yeah, when you practice for balance. Isolation is something that's more difficult to practice, because you're probably going to look a bit weird if you do this while you're waiting for the tube station, for the tube to arrive in the tube station, yeah, or in the shop while you're looking at the book. I do it because I don't mind, and I don't mind if people look at me and I think I'm weird. But, well, you can do it if you don't mind it. You can practice whilst you're waiting at the till in Sainsbury's, anywhere. So you can do that. That's your isolation. And your style comes when you put all these things together. So remember, balance, no, posture, balance, isolation, and style. Okay? We'll have exercises for all of those, but a very good exercise for your isolation would be the lapis, yeah? So you see the leg is moving by itself, so don't forget that, on the left and on the right. Another good exercise for the isolation is the bolero. So hands in front of you, try not to move the body at all, maintain your balance. This has everything in it. Has style, has balance, has isolation, yeah? So these are the four elements.